Hey fellow breachers, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Pacific Drive, episode 19, Shuffled Loot. So the first order of business I want you guys to vote on is research. So I'm going to be covering some of the options here, but our last run was rather successful, meaning that we have a lot of resources to spend. So give you a minute or two and I'll cover what the options are. So improving the garage. We could get the junction restabilizer. So what this allows you to do is if there's a junction that has modifiers you don't like let's say it is very unstable and very violent, you can spend survey energy to actually reshuffle it and make it possibly more stable. We also could get the analysis module, making diagnosing quirks a little bit easier. We could get a fax machine, which is where you store messages, all of the sort of notes, lab notes, that kind of thing. Let's see. Or we could go for more lockers. Bigger lockers, that actually doesn't even use the same unstable energy. This is just regular old stable energy. We could improve tools. So now that we have more unstable energy, we have 8.4 klim unstable energy. We could get a plasma scrapper, which is like a regular scrapper, but souped up. What I will say about the tools, without spoiling too much, is some upgraded tools are basically required, in my mind, like a thermal vacuum. Without a thermal vacuum, you really can't get marsh eggs without pulling out your hair and burning through a ton of hand vacs. And the same is true eventually of the magnetic hammer, although we can't unlock that. And the reason I mention this is the plasma scrapper doesn't allow you to get like a new resource that is basically unavailable to you having a regular scrapper, but it does make scrapping a lot faster. We also get the Liberator Mark II, which allows you to liberate a lot more things. So that would be the tools. And then as far as the car goes, one thing I would really like to get would be Nitro Boost. Nitro Boost is a really nice ability for the car to have, and we could start to unlock towards it. We could unlock the Ion Shield and then the Nitro Boost. So to talk very quickly about the setup of the car right now, it's basically fully armored panels with regular headlights, off-road tires. We got a lightning rod, 3 mini turbines, storage rack on the roof, and resource radar. And this is sort of the configuration I like most. Inside the car, we actually have an empty slot here for a car ability, or like a battery or fuel tank or something like that. And then we have an auto parker. So that is the current configuration of the car, and you guys have voted to improve the garage. So let's see. I am going to go for the restabilizer. As that can be very handy. So let's get that installed. And I still have more points here. So I'm going to do a very quick poll about how to spend some additional points. Just 1 minute. So the way the restabilizer works is any zone that you're like, man, that sucks, you can reshuffle after you've scanned it. So if there is a zone that is highly unstable, maybe you can fix that. It's very nice. And that leads to the junction bypass. Junction bypass requires corrupted energy, but junction bypass allows you, it sort of allows you to skip a lot of the stable zones to rush deeper into the zone. So you can see all these highway signs and see how some of them have these sort of boulder, like triple lined highways. It allows you to jump, like, so if we wanted to go to D1, it would allow us to bypass G1 so that getting to D1, we would just drive on 2 highway tiles. So that's what the junction bypass does. It allows you to actually pass a junction entirely. So it allows you to go way deeper into the zone without having to spend too much time and energy going through individual junctions. So, very nice. All right, do a little bit of improving tools. Sounds good to me. So the tools that we have would be really just the plasma scrapper. So I'll get that one. So the plasma scrapper just scraps things faster and has higher durability. But as I said, it doesn't open up new opportunities for new resources. And because you overwhelmingly voted for tools, I will also get the Liberator. No, I won't. No, let's just do 1 for 1. Okay, so I have 5 energy left, 5.5 energy left. If you vote for Garage, I would probably get, the fax machine, or the additional expanded lockers. If you vote for Car, I would go for the Nitro Boost, which is over here, so that we can have a Nitro Boost to boost around. And then if you vote for Tools, I'll get that Liberator. And then we have to decide on what next run to do. So taking a look at the car here, let's see, checklist. Some of it's going to be behind. Oh no, our checklist is basically done. We'll do some friendly dumpstering. Tree candy, steel sheet, more tree candy, more steel sheets. Thank you. Some rubber, glass shards, rubber, canned food. And it's done offering us some free stuff. Get some of those free electronics and dump it all away. Good. Where was I storing my food? I don't remember what container I was putting food in. Was it this one? I know I was keeping it separate. Yeah, it was this one. So all of these red and green stuff would be like fax machine. Alright. So we're going to improve the car. That will be the last research task. And what kind of run do you want me to make? So we could do a main quest line, resources for building and upgrading, side quests, or leave it up to me. So an ion shield is a roof rack upgrade that protects you from radiation. Takes a lot of power, but it keeps you protected from high radiation zones as like a sphere bubble influence. And then here is the Nitro Boost, which we do have enough fabric. I'm really running low on fabric though, but we do have enough fabric for it. And this is something I really like. This is definitely an upgrade high up on my list of things to get. Because it really can take you, get you out of a bind. The real advantage of Nitro Boost is like, if you want to get away from abductors or, you know, something terrible that's coming, you can boost away. And one of the other advantages of it is if you're trying to hill climb and it's really steep or something like that, you can just Nitro Boost up it quickly. And it is directional. So if you put the Nitro Boost on your front bumper, you're going to be boosting backwards. So you're definitely going to want to put Nitro Boost on the rear. Unless, of course, you like flying backwards fast. I mean, maybe that's a thing that you'd want. And for that, we just need one more circuit board. No problem. I can make those. Okay. So we got a Nitro Boost and limb emitter. And I am going to need to set up my abilities. So, Arc Dot for shift, that's going to be Nitro Boost. And then F will be limb pulse emitter. And then spacebar can be resource radar. And handbrake. I really like handbrake. Alright, looks like you guys are leaving it up to me. So I think the last thing I did was a main quest line. So I think for this run, I am going to go for, like, resources and the like. So taking a look at to be grabbed upgrades. Obviously, I can't really get corrupted energy. That's not something that we have available to us at the moment. But I'm low on plasma, and I'm low on marsh eggs. A craft mat would be really nice for the car. So plasma, marsh eggs, fabric. Yeah. Also, you know what? Let's just also get this expanded locker. Spending stable energy is... I don't... Because most of what we need to unlock stable energy with is grabbed by me already. I don't really need to worry too much about how I spend stable energy as a result. Now, stable energy, of course, is potentially still useful for when we're trying to diagnose quirks. So I shouldn't spend it all, and I still will want some, but I'm trying to get to the pneumatic lockers. That's what I'm trying to do. So there we go. I got 2 of the regular lockers to get the pneumatic one. And you know what? I am going to get that too. I'm going to unlock that. Once you have 1 pneumatic locker, in my opinion, you don't really need much more than that. Because they, like, hold just like an infinite amount of stuff. So, pneumatic locker kit. And let's put it here, right next to the trunk. Makes it really easy to empty out the car. So you'll see the difference here. Here is like a normal locker. Here is an expanded locker. And here is the pneumatic locker. So it's just like a giant list. Now, what not to put in here would be like tools, healing, that kind of thing. Because it will be, you know, it's very easy to get lost in this giant list. So pneumatic lockers, in my opinion, are best. You can put, like, you know, tools and stuff in it if you want. But it's very hard to fetch things when you're trying to when it's a giant nested list that is like infinitely long. So I usually avoid putting, you know, putty and mechanic kits and things like that in the pneumatic locker. Once you have 1 pneumatic locker, like, it holds just about anything you want. Goes underground. So right now I'm just running around. I can treat some of the older lockers for storage, for like for parts storage. There is parts lockers, but unless I need parts lockers, I could just store it in older lockers. That seems fine to me. Actually, I think the bumper I just took out of there, the armored bumper, needs repair. Okay. And just emptying out all the other lockers other than our fax locker. And maybe what I'll do is all of this stuff. Well, no, I mean, I think we'll eventually get a fax machine, so I'm not going to move that. Alright, some of the other crafting that we could hypothetically do would be personal equipment. So fabric and swamp coral would be awesome for a large backpack. So that would be another thing to work towards. So swamp coral marsh eggs means that I'm headed back to the mire. Or the mires. So let's take a look. I am going to make a resource run. So I'm going to update the priority here. Go on a resource run. And the mires is this sort of like bluish, swampy icon here. These are mire zones. So this is a dead end, can't go there. This has really low resource density, so that's not a good place. Here, let me hide my overlay for a second. And then these places are That's a dead end as well. I don't want to go there. Man, they really don't want me going to the Myers at all. So let's reshuffle things. I'm going to scout this out. And then I can hold R once I scan it to re-roll it. And hopefully get more resources. So there we go. We have fuel evaporation, which is not awesome, and anchor obfuscation, which means the anchors are going to be hidden from us. But you can see the resource bar is much higher now, so there's higher potential resources there. This is a 2K limb exit. And then it's also worth noting we can't go here because this is a dead end. So I could try to reshuffle G1 as well. Let's do that. There we go. So G1 is now far more stable, allowing us to go from G1 to this zone here without, you know, horrible modifiers. So that was the restabilizer in action. It's quite nice. It's quite nice when you have a lot of charges. All right. Do one last check for quirks. Nope, no quirks known. And we're gonna go. Cheers. Whee! Haha, Nitro, I missed you. Nitro is a lot of fun. It also, one of the interesting ramifications of Nitro is it allows you to move using electricity, not fuel. Nitro is electricity based, like all car abilities. So if you're low on fuel and you want to accelerate, you can just nitro boost. Let's get some jams. So this is just a highway map tile. There's not going to be a ton of stuff here. I think there might be an Arta truck, so I'll be looking out for an Arta truck. But there's not too much else here that I'd want. I wish I could go up to 5s. Like, why can't I just do 15? It's either too loud or too soft. Whoa! Alright, Bollard. Rude. Normally the bollards, like, pop up out of the ground in front of you, giving you time to avoid them, not directly underneath your car, sending you flying. I'll stop for a squire. So in the tunnels, it helps to have light on the squires. Come on, back up. I have a pretty decent amount of thermosap crystals. So like thermosap crystals maybe aren't that high on my needed list. Meaning like the armored doors and the like. Yeah, I'll take it. Whatever. But now that we know that there's sap condensers, and last stream, one of the last things I did was to get a bunch of sap crystals. Yeah, these armor pieces are so damaged, they're not even giving me sap. Do you generate more power from 3 turbines than it consumes? Not if you're constantly boosting, but it is a feedback loop. Because the turbines generate power the faster you move. So if you are using turbo to get up to a high speed, and then you coast, you will generate more power. As you can see on the, right around here, the red number, it's 43.3 and climbing. I'm gaining energy by travel. building is this? Oh, it's just a cabin? Because that's another thing, is we were low on fabric. So yeah, actually, I'm going to stop for that. Fabric, you generally find fabric in homes more than Arda buildings. Arda buildings are really good for like chemicals and canisters and the like. And these homes are the ones that have, oh yeah, see, point and case, or both, backwards, have fabrics. That's not always true, of course, but that's just generally the case. Yep, see, there, more fabric. And this fabric can go towards the large backpack upgrade, which is definitely one of the best equipment upgrades for your person. You get more hot bar slots, and you get a much bigger backpack able to accommodate a lot more stuff. Am I planning to do Arda payload hunting? I'm not planning anything. Everything I do is pulled, so maybe if it's pulled. Speaking of which, let's do one resource radar pulse, just to see if there is an Arda truck near me. There doesn't seem to be. So away we go. Is the extra fuel can full? Should be. I generally don't leave without it. But I'll check. So the condition here is disruptive discharge. So I've got a spare can, a large can in the trunk, and then my gunk can, and both are full. So no problems there. That's lots of extra fuel. There is only a single anchor here. I'll pick that up. And then we have got a disruptive discharge. So that is battery power drains faster. Which probably won't be too bad of an issue for us, considering all the turbines I have, and it seems like it's going to be stormy. So, should be alright. Oh, the other thing I meant to check is there anything for me to discover? No. And no. So there's no, like, science to do. Door. No, I don't. Dang it. Get out of my way, door. Close. Why won't you close? Oh, that's weird. Okay. Might be a quirk. Maybe not. Maybe it's just a clipping issue. Why am I don't need to return that. I'm like trying to hang it up like I'm a proper, you know, good citizen, but it's like the next time I see one of the fuel pumps, it's going to be a different gas station entirely. There's no need to do that. Ooh, dumpster pearl. And the dumpster's done. I don't think there's anything I need to craft. One resource that I obviously have not been collecting, and I don't think I'm going to have the opportunity to, was plasma. I didn't really see any sources of plasma on this road trip. Okay. I don't know what's going on with this car door. Let me try to drive away from the gas station and see if it will shut. Alright, I think it was just clipping into the gas station or something. Seems fine now. So taking a look at the map here, I do need plasma. That was weird. I couldn't mark where. So let's go to these Arda buildings. And maybe they have plasma jennies on them. So with all these turbines, will I need more battery capacity? Maybe. I have a spare rear seat slot that could house a battery. I just don't have one unlocked yet. Maybe I do. Maybe I'm wrong about that. What do I need to worry about here? So we do have wriggling wrecks and crackling crawlers. I don't particularly like either of those anomalies. So yeah, we got to keep our eyes open for wriggling wrecks. Where's the door? I don't recall if we need, you know what? I'll just get everything. You have trouble seeing the puddles? Fortunately, like, years of playing, paranoia-inducing games, like PUBG and Escape from Tarkov, I've trained my eyes to pick up on small details. And my age hasn't made my eyes fail me yet. I guess I'm lucky. Yo, come on. Lead paneling? You just gave me scrap metal. Lead shielding, whatever it's called. The ones, so yeah, some of the anomalies that might give you trouble, I don't particularly dislike. I feel like on 10% volume, the game's too quiet. But there's a caveat to that, which is the resources that get, like, flung around. Like when you hit a bunch of Taurus for thermostat crystals and it just gets flung around, like, I can never spot that stuff. The rocks are breathing. That's sketchy. Is okay. Stay away from the car! That sucks. There's a lot of electronics here, but I'm not really after electronics. I'm mostly after fabric and plasma. This transmuter makes chemicals from light bulbs. Alright, let's get going before the car gets zapped to hell. There's a creeping, crackling crawler here that's trying to electrocute our car. So I'm gonna park somewhere else. Are there anomalies that are refused to deal with? No. Some anomalies are definitely harder than others, for sure. It depends on the zone. There aren't anomalies that I feel are... Because anomalies are very localized, right? So there aren't anomalies that I'm just like, oh hell no. But there are definitely map conditions that, like, I avoid if I can. Especially when they're bad combinations of map conditions. It's usually not one map condition alone. It's like multiple map conditions. So map conditions that I particularly dislike are ones that that drain your fuel or power, because it's really challenging. Then you're sort of just speed running everything, because if you stick around, you're going to run out of fuel or power or whatever it is. Those map conditions I don't really care for as a result. Because if there's good resources in the map tile, yeah, too bad. You hang out on the map tile and you'll just be out of power and fuel. And yeah, sure, you can like keep recharging your batteries or fueling up, but you end up spending so much more time trying to keep your car running that had you gone to a less resource intense area and just, you know, not had to refuel every 10 seconds, you would have gained more in the long run. Alright, this next building's a little haunted, so let's get through it quickly. I didn't check my chems or canisters for resources. I guess I should try to get an accurate count of like where my resources are at. But it didn't, you know, for the backpack, it was pretty obvious I needed a lot more fabric. Oh yes, radiation. Hey, a free scrapper. And I know I'm skipping all the things with the electronics. I just don't think electronics is some high need back home. So that part's done. Let's go ahead and do a little bushwhacking to the anchor. Wriggling wrecks are only on the road, so if we want to avoid wriggling wrecks, off-roading is an easy way to avoid them. Handbrake. Alright, there it is. So what's over here? Some cabins? We'll do the cabins first. No, that one I can't get into. That almost looks like a dumpster pearl. Really shiny trash bag. Are all the zones at least... I don't... are all those... Can you rephrase that? I'm a little confused by your question board, Drake. A lot of the zones are just like resource zones. They're not quest zones. If that answers your question. I just might not be caffeinated enough to fully understand. Oh. You know what? I don't really want... I'll take this scrapper because it's more HP than my current one, but I don't need 3 scrappers on me. They take up a lot of room and they're not expensive to make. So I don't know if this answers your question, but every time you make a run, all the zones that you could have gone to gets reshuffled at the end of the run. Meaning that there are essentially infinite zones for you to visit. And generally speaking, there's only one zone of all the zones that are out there for you to visit that have quest objectives, main quest line objectives. So if you want to just keep resource running, there's nothing stopping you from doing that. And in fact, the game encourages it because a lot of the times the necessary upgrades to be able to survive harder zones are going to be... they're essentially going to require you to do resource grinding. I will say the grind isn't like some games the grind is like mind-numbing, where it's just like so much grind and you're just like, oh man, I hate this. This game does a really good job of avoiding the like infinite grind. That instead it gives you the tools to be able to more efficiently gain resources through research technology. So you get the necessary resources faster with some caveats. The caveats being like some resources like fabric are you get access to really low levels, but like you always will need it. So sometimes you have to come into buildings like this one and just grab fabric. There's not really a better way to get fabric late game. Do I sound like Seth Rogen? Is that what you're saying? I've heard that I sound like a lot of people, but not Seth Rogen ever in my life. But yeah, if you think I do, okay. I won't argue. Let's get some fuel. I don't laugh like Seth Rogen, but I also can't laugh like on command. Not a talent I have. At least not a genuine sounding one. I can do a fake laugh, but it's not going to be my real laugh. Alan the alien? I'm ready to beat up some Viltrumites. Yeah. I wish I could almost die and get jacked. That would be amazing. And I won't say anything more for those that want to watch Invincible and not have it spoiled for them. All-deal. And out we go. So I did the other looting. Because I had the idea that the minute I touched the only anchor in this zone, it was going to go storm time. And that's exactly what happened. Immediate storms. How's the game audio? Does it need to be back up to 20%? Or is 10 fine? No Arctic trucks around me. We'll keep rolling. A bit too quiet? Yeah. All right, I'll put it back up. I'll just have to talk louder. You know, the other thing is I could raise master and then fiddle with the sound effects and everything. So, like, master up to 20 and then, like, dialogue and sound effects down to 90. I don't know. I just wish there was, like, a proper slider. Increments of, like, I don't know, 5 would be nice. Whatever. Alright. So, of the zones, this is a dead end. Do not enter. That one's eerie dark. And no stable exits. So, yeah, we're headed to this mire zone. And we're trying to get as many marsh eggs and swamp coral as possible. And Glitch, thank you for the bits. Cheers! Bits won't work for you? Well, I appreciate you trying. And maybe duping Glitch into cheering. Thank you for tuning in to Pacific Drive, which originally streamed live on Twitch, April 9th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. And if you would like to join my online gaming community, Rhadamant.com also has a link to Discord, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you at next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow breachers.